Hi everyone, hope you are doing well from wherever you are watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, yesterday, President Ruto was launching affordable house project in Nairobi. And during that time, he used that opportunity to announce the return of the Kenya Defense Forces in the city. This announcement was also coming at a time when Azimio la Umoja is preparing for their second rally that will be happening at Jacaranda after the first one, which was very successful at Kamkunji grounds. First of all, listen to Ruto, then we continue.
Kwa sababu mimi ndio amiri jeshi mkuu, wale KDF ni Kenya Defense Force, kumaanisha wao ni wa Kenya pia, na wanajua umuhimu wa city ya Nairobi. Tayari nimeketi chini na wao na tumekubaliana ya kwamba tutabadilisha city ya Nairobi, ikiwemo Kamkunji, ikiwemo Isli, ikiwemo hiyo Kiambiu.
Now, Ruto becomes the first president to refer to himself as Mimi ndio amri jeshi mkuu. The rest, I have always heard them saying, Mimi kama amri jeshi mkuu. So I wonder, why? Whom is Ruto competing with? Is it the illegitimacy or what? Anyway, we want to understand why he made the announcement yesterday. And again, why bring back the KDF, a man who has been castigating Uhuru Kenyatta for working closely with the men in uniform. But before we go deep into that, just a quick request. For those who are watching and you are not subscribed, please consider subscribing. To our channel subscribers, I must say thank you so much. And again, to all our viewers, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you, and back to this discussion. Now, first of all, this announcement is telling. He announced yesterday, and tomorrow, we will be having the Azimio mega rally at Jacaranda. So, Ruto, at first place, he made this announcement to confuse those who want to turn out in a Azimio rally. Because once we talk about the KDF being deployed back into the city, what many will first of all think of is security, but not to deal with other matters to do with the development or the civil work in the city. So many would think that Ruto is deploying the KDF in the city just to stop Raila Odinga event or disrupt it. And for those with a small heart, they will not turn out. They will stay at home. Because remember, the people who are turning in Raila Odinga's rally are not only his supporters. They are just many Kenyans, including those who voted for William Samoei Ruto. They're just tired on how Ruto is recklessly running the government. So everyone is agreeing with Raila Odinga, and they are willing and they are ready to put their life online to make sure that they are defending the Constitution of Kenya so that we can have fairness in this country, and again, to defend the democracy of this country. Because there is no way William Samoei Ruto will go to Kilgoya Stadium in Kirinyaga County in what he referred to as a Thanksgiving service, but in real sense, if you look on it, it is literally a campaign rally where preachers will come out and engage themselves in politics, where William Samoei Ruto will parade all the politicians in the Mount Kenya region in that event to talk about politics, where 50% of the time in that Thanksgiving service will be mentioning the name of Raila Odinga. And I did a video where Kenyans were saying they're tired of Mheshimiwa Ruto going into a church together with Rigathi Gachagua. Then they spend entire time, 70% of the time in the service, mentioning Raila Odinga. So it tells you that these are the people who are just in campaign for their own personal interest. It is not a church function. It is not a Thanksgiving the way they want it to look like. Like for example, on Sunday when Raila Odinga will be in Kamkunji grounds, not Kamkunji, Jacaranda, Ruto will be in Narok County, in what we will be referring to as a Thanksgiving service, which is on a Sunday. But then, when Raila called for his rally, he now started saying that I will not allow an individual to disrupt the peace in this country. How comes his rallies, where he's mentioning Raila Odinga, is not a disruption? But then Raila Odinga rallies becomes a disruption. So Kenyans are aware that Ruto might use the name of the church for campaign purposes, for politics, and everyone is aware of this. But then he wants to refer to Raila Odinga as a disruption rally. So no one is going to buy into that. So the perception he wanted to create is that KDF are back, so Raila will not have his day in Nairobi with the Kenyans. So it's no longer Raila Odinga supporters, are all Kenyans, including those who are supporting William Ruto. So that's the first thing you want to create. And the truth is that these KDF are back to help Ruto, Nairobi governor, and this government to run the activities in Nairobi in terms of development. Ruto castigated Uhuru Kenyatta for involving the men in uniform in civil work. But now, he needs them like never before. This is what Wahome Tuku said in reaction to this. I think I need to congratulate Dr. William Ruto for realizing that you can't move out of Uhuru's script and survive. Be it Huduma number, NMS, even BBI. Uhuru was a leadership genius. That's a fact. He failed just like all other world great men have failed here and there. But on matters leadership, he was tops. Jaribu kufanya things differently, tuone by 2027, we will not be recognizing where Uhuru stopped. There's no way he will run the activities in this country without following the script that Uhuru had taken. Because Uhuru was getting the briefs from every corner, including the security committee. So what he was doing, it was online. It was something that was discussed and agreed upon for the goodness of this country. But Ruto has been taking it as Uhuru Kenyatta's own decision. And you will agree with me that most of the things he was trying to revert, he is now coming to agree and now go back to Uhuru Kenyatta's book. So NMS is back in Nairobi. That's exactly what Ruto was announcing. They are back to work. They are going to do civilian jobs, be it construction, especially that one. Because you can never dismantle all cartels in Nairobi or in this country without involving the discipline forces. People whom once you give an order, they follow it. They will not care if people are demonstrating or what. They will do the job you have given to them. For example, we check on how people are reacting to Sakaja when he gives orders to do with the removal of Matatu, among other things. Rigathi Gachagua, who is William Ruto's deputy, has been in front line to criticize Sakaja. The other leaders from Mount Kenya region and the mafias who are operating in this business have been busy criticizing and trying to intimidate Sakaja. But Sakaja has said he will not go back. And I think even when he was taking office, he said he is also ready to work with the NMS. So these people are here to bring back the disciplined forces into civilian jobs. They are back. But then that announcement was just meant to confuse people. Because now men are now believing, these people are coming back. Ruto said that he will not allow anyone to disrupt peace in this country. Who is that person? It's Raila Odinga who is planning for his rallies. So this announcement comes out to show a desperate person in the office, the name of William Ruto, as the president. He is very desperate to use every means and he is holding to everything just to make things look like it's working, to confuse people. Because now some people are saying, so what is KDF coming back to do? Because we know he said he will not involve them in the development of the country in terms of projects running. So it means they're coming back to do what? To disrupt rallies. Mheshimiwa Ruto, Wakenya wako na haki ya kuongea, hata ya kufanya maandamano. You can never remove that from Kenyans. They will come in rallies. They will speak their mind. They have freedom of speech. It is enshrined in our constitution. You will never take this one from Kenyans. And that's exactly what they want to do. And because Ruto knows that he can never take this one from Kenyans, that's why he's using such kind of speeches and pronouncement. That's why he's doing so. Otherwise, they cannot come out just to say that, oh, I want to unleash the police on a Raila Odinga rally. He can never do that. So that's all thing Ruto is trying to do. So we will keep on seeing the contradiction, and he will later come back to terms that Kenya is a democratic country.